Welcome back. The Biden administration is being criticized this morning for offering condolences to Iran in an official statement from the State Department following the death of Iranian President Ibrahim Raisi, who was killed in a helicopter crash along with the country's foreign minister this weekend. Look at this. On the death of Iranian President Raisi and others, the U.S. expresses official condolences. This is what this memo says. Spokesperson Matthew Miller was grilled on this move yesterday. Watch this.
What exactly is official condolences?
It's a condolences on behalf of the United States government.
I'm not even sure why you're offering condolences if this guy was as bad as you say he was.
Because we regret any loss of life.
Aren't you sending contradictory messages?
Absolutely not. We were asked for assistance by the Iranian government. We did make clear to them that we would offer assistance, and ultimately, largely for logistical reasons, we weren't able to provide that assistance.
The U.S. Deputy Ambassador to the UN, Robert Wood, is also facing backlash for standing to observe a moment of silence at the UN Security Council to honor Raisi. Joining me now is Fox News senior strategic analyst and chairman of the Institute for the Study of War, General Jack Keane. General, I know that the Ayatollah chants death to America. Did Raisi also chant death to America? Why are we offering condolences for this guy? Isn't he against America and wanting America dead?
Well, absolutely. And just recently, just a couple of weeks ago, we watched Iran deliver hundreds of missiles against Israel, and the U.S. led a coalition to help Israel defeat those missiles. I mean, how we would be offering any kind of condolences, lionizing, or honors for someone who has killed literally thousands of his own people, and that's well documented. Ever since the 2022 demonstrations over the young woman who was killed for wearing the hijab, there's been over 1,000 people that have been publicly executed as a result of it. And just so our viewers understand, Raisi hangs people by a crane in public view, to include, just in the last few weeks, teenagers who have been resisting the regime. This guy is a butcher. And the thought that we would pay any homage to him whatsoever is just a disgrace.
I mean, I don't understand. Who's running the show over there? This is like a cartoon. I mean, we're all talking every day about Iran, and it's the supporter of terrorism. We know that they're behind Hezbollah, Hamas, and we offer condolences?
Yeah, what's really happening here, Maria, is the administration, we have said time and time again, they've got to change the strategy as it pertains to Iran. They are seeking the destruction of Israel, the removal of the United States, and domination in the Middle East. And what are we doing? We appease them and try to work diplomatically to achieve some mutual understanding that Iran will be a responsible nation. And that is not going to work. And the reason for the condolences, and the reason right now, as we speak, a member of the NSC is conducting, his name is Brett McGurk, he is conducting clandestine meetings with the Iranians to try to work towards that end once again, to appease the Iranian regime. That is why the deputy ambassador to the UN stood up when they were honoring Raisi, as opposed to walking out or at least remaining in his seat. And that is why the State Department is officially offering condolences, and also to help them find the helicopter. This is not a friend. This is an enemy, and they should be treated as such.
Unbelievable. You got to wonder who the heck is running the show over there. Meanwhile, President Biden railing against the International Criminal Court, thankfully, for requesting arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and his defense chief. Here's what he had to say. Watch this.
We reject the ICC's application for arrest warrants against Israeli leaders. Whatever these warrants may imply, there is no equivalence between Israel and Hamas. And it's clear Israel wants to do all it can to ensure civilian protection. But let me be clear. Contrary to allegations against Israel made by the International Court of Justice, what's happening is not genocide. We reject that. We will always stand with Israel and the threats against its security.
Yeah, except when we withhold weapons to Israel. Netanyahu slammed the move in a statement yesterday, calling it, quote, complete distortion of reality, and that it's exactly what the new anti-Semitism looks like. General Keane, your reaction to this?
Well, the ICC cannot be taken seriously. I mean, this is a politicized organization that has political objectives, and here it's condemning literally Israel through issuing potentially arrest warrants for Prime Minister Netanyahu and the defense minister. I mean, the reality is Hamas entered Israel, butchered the people in a barbaric way, as we all know, and raped women. 1,200 people killed. It was a genocidal attack for sure. And what Israel's response is, on any level looking at it, is responding, and according to international rules, this is a just war in response used by a democratic society and asking its military to defeat the people who butchered the citizens of Israel. There is no immorality in any of that, and there certainly is no genocide in any of it when they have gone out of their way and extreme measures to protect the civilian population that Hamas wants to be martyred, wants thousands of them to be killed. There's 300 miles of tunnels inside of Gaza to protect the fighters, the Hamas, the killers. There's not a single bomb shelter or tunnel to protect the people of Gaza. Think of that. And Hamas is responsible for their protection and safety. They want these people martyred. And to think that the ICC would point the finger at the leaders of Israel, who are simply responding to a barbaric attack and using the military to judiciously fight a war under conditions that I've never seen before, with a population held hostage, and having to prosecute that war in and around that population. That is really quite extraordinary. And the ICC obviously should be summarily ignored.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Wall Street Journal writes, the ICC disgraces itself over Israel. This morning's op-ed from the editorial board, the International Criminal Court has lost more than the plot. In requesting arrest warrants on Monday for Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu and his defense chief, alongside a trio of Hamas leaders responsible for October 7th, the ICC has lost sight of the crucial distinction between the death squad and the bomber pilot. We're learning also, General, that George Clooney's wife, Amal, a Lebanese human rights lawyer and co-founder of the Clooney Foundation for Justice, helped convince the ICC prosecutors to move forward with the arrest warrant for Netanyahu. Your reaction?
Well, I'm sure there's lots of people like her and others, you know, who are obviously supporting this. There's 4 or 5 countries in the world, led by South Africa, Bolivia, and others, that appealed to the ICC that Israel was committing genocide. Listen, there is a huge undercurrent of anti-Semitism in the world, and, you know, the veil of mystery has been pulled away from it. There's a wound, and the scab is exposed out there, and it's horrific to see it on full display here by an international body, certainly, and by others who are purporting a falsehood that Israel is committing genocide. It's a disgrace that's going on out here, and it's in full public view inside the United States and also around the world. We got to stand by Israel. Every time the president opens his mouth to talk about what's going on in Gaza, you've got to remind everyone that what is happening here is a threat against the very existence of the state of Israel. And its people and their right to live there has got to be defended.
Yeah, and it would be wise to review that video of October 7th, watching those monsters taking women and children on their bikes and raping them and taking them away from their families, General. We'll keep watching that as a reminder. It's great to see you this morning, sir. Thanks so much.